Josh Ramsay, and I am a singer and songwriter for a living.
Lead singer Josh Ramsay grew up in a household where music was a staple.
My whole family are singers, and my parents were all singers too, actually. So I sort of came from like a long line of them, I guess. So it's sort of like our family business, I suppose. My mom was is still a singing teacher, and she would have all these sort of like famous people in her house taking lessons from her. I remember being a kid and like Brian from AC/DC was there working on vocals with her because he was tasting blood when he was singing or something ridiculous like that. And then my dad, him and his two friends owned this big recording studio
Called Little Mountain in the 70s and 80s and part of the 90s.
So if I went to work with my dad, it would be like Aerosmith was there.
AC/DC.
This is kind of strange, but like, you know, when you go on those family road trips when you're a kid and like, you know, your parents have you play I Spy or whatever, my parents would, you know, my dad would sing a note, my mom would sing a note, and then they would get me to sing a note, and my sister would sing a note, and they would spell out these complex jazz chords, and I would learn what they were called. So that was like our road trip game when I was like 4 and 5 and stuff. Is like, this is what a major 7 is, and this is what a minor 7 is.
When you grow up around that, you're so young, you don't understand like fame or anything like that, and it just seems like this is like a realistic lifestyle.
Everyone I knew was a musician, so I thought everyone was a musician until I was like maybe 14.
So I guess to me, the way that influenced me was it seemed so realistic to be a musician because that's like all I knew. You know, when everyone else was like, I want to grow up and be a fire truck or whatever it is that they want, I was like, I guess I'm going to be a singer because that's what everybody does.
This is not a celebration of being sick. It's more about, I don't know, I guess if you have a problem, I find that keeping it a secret makes it so much stronger. So it was my way of getting it off my chest so that it wasn't my only secret anymore. I locked the door, turn all the water on, and bury that sound, so no one hears anything anymore. Mirror light of me, tell me you can see. Maybe you won't be able to recognize me now. I know you can feel all the things you're still taking it. Sometimes it burns, maybe I'll wash it out. It all looks so big, never mind, I don't feel anything. I only hurt a bit, and I still feel like shit. And I think you won't be able to recognize me now. It's easier to quit, it's harder to admit, and you're pushing me, you're fucking pushing me, feeling so easy, make me skin and bones. I'm always on my knees for you, break like it's even when you're leaving it. Sin, where have you been? 'Cause you always win, and you
While Josh was on the path to stardom, his road took a dark turn. Josh Ramsay had a secret. He began experimenting with drugs.
I mean, how does a kid in grade 11 even get wrapped up in heroin?
There's a lot of stuff like that that's way more available than people think.
He hid his addiction from everyone, including his bandmates.
Josh would sort of periodically disappear for like months on end, and everybody, like at the time I was like, I didn't really know much about it.
When his addiction began to affect his health, people started to notice.
I think it became pretty obvious to everyone that I had some sort of problem when, like, between grade 11 and grade 12, in that summer in between, I lost like 75 pounds.
Failed interventions forced his family to give him a final ultimatum: go to rehab or get out of the house.
I just planned on going to this treatment center to like get everyone off my back, and then I was gonna come back out and go right back to drugs again and stuff, and that was my plan. And then I guess once I'd been in the treatment center for about a month, and it actually had drugs out of my system for that long, I suppose my perspective on it just kind of changed.
They make you do this thing where you have to, you draw like a circle that represents you, and then you draw all these other circles that are all the drugs you've ever done. And you write and you draw a circle of how big each one is or how important it is to you. And then you do a second drawing where you do you and then all sort of the things in your life that are important, how important they are. And then you put them over top of each other, and most addicts, the drugs are the bigger drawing. With my music was bigger than heroin was. I sort of at that moment realized that I couldn't do both.
That I wouldn't be able to do both, and then I had to pick one that was more important. And it seemed stupid to pick dying and drugs over, you know, playing art.
I just couldn't do both. And I felt like there was other stuff that I wanted to do. There's a finite amount of time that you have to get what you need done. And I was like, you know, this is my moment to do it. So if I'm going to do it, now's the time.
For Josh, the path to sobriety was a hard one.
Coming off that is terrible. I couldn't walk for like a week. I didn't sleep for 2 weeks. It's terrible. And it's not romantic like they make it in the movies. There's nothing romantic about addiction like that.
And if kicking drugs wasn't tough enough, a long-standing problem reared its ugly head.
I always had insomnia, but it got a lot worse after that. Like, it was something I always had as a kid, and then once I entered into like recovery and stuff, it got considerably worse.
He dove into his music to help him stay sane, dealing with his pain, frustration, and anxiety the only way he knew.
I don't think drug addiction is something that anyone should approach to better themselves musically ever. And I was very fortunate to get out of that alive. But it certainly gave me a certain kind of edge that I didn't have before.
When I went to a treatment center for heroin addiction, which I used to suffer from, and I was told to write a love letter to my drug of choice, and I put it into a song called Lover Dearest. This place is a home, but I don't wanna go. I wish we could stay here forever alone.
This time that we waste, but I still love your taste. Don't let him take my place. Don't just sit there. Sometimes I wish you would leave me. Whoa, I'm not sick of you yet. Is that as good as it gets? I'll just say it, or I could slip into you. It's so easy to come back into you. I stared for a while and waited for words, seen but not heard, and struggled to try. My tongue's turning black, but I'll take you back. You're still the best, more or less, again.
friends from Canada. We are called Mariana's Trench. We just came into the country today illegally. Don't tell them we're here. It's like a very slow, quiet invasion of your country.
Josh.
Got the start wrong. One more last try. I'ma get the ending. You can't stop this, and I must insist that you have it. You have it. You have it. Now so far, but it's got the start wrong. No more last place.
There's a finite amount of time you have to get what you need done. And I was like, you know, this is my moment to do it. So if I'm gonna do it.
You know what my thing is? I hope for the best and expect the worst in everything in my career, and that's true.
I might just be the best thing.